Hey, this is Kevin Smith, the Silent Bob half of Jay and Silent Bob, and I guess I've kind of built a reputation over the years for making unfamily-friendly films. But what I have for you here is a family-friendly Christmas story. The first time I ever went to Disney World, I was a kid, went with my parents and my brother and sister. Now, we came from a very lower middle-class family. We were not food stamps people, but we were government cheese eaters, and I never knew that it was the earmark of being lower middle class, borderline poor, because I would go to friends' houses, and when they didn't break out big blocks of cheese that said U.S. government on it, I thought they were poor, even though their houses were much bigger than mine. So coming from a very, one would say low rent, but I would say not very rich family, going to Disney World was a big bad thing. So while we were there, naturally as a kid, of course, aside from riding the rides and whatnot, I always wanted to pick up every souvenir I can, anything with Mickey Mouse on it, anything with pirates on it. So my parents, in an odd display of wealth, anytime we went into a gift shop and I said, I want this, like I remember very specifically being in a gift shop near the Jungle Cruise, there was a rubber snake, very long, I don't know how much it was, but maybe $10 or something like that. So can I get this? My parents said, sure, just go ahead, take it outside, we'll pay for it. And that continued throughout the entire trip. We were there for 3 days. Anytime I wanted something in a gift shop, they'd say, go ahead, take it outside, we'll pay for it. And I walked away with a fat stash. Years later, my brother and sister and I were sitting around talking. I said, remember that Christmas? I said, we just don't have Christmases like we used to. Remember that one Christmas we went to Disney World, and it was me and you guys, Mom and Dad, and they bought us, anything that we wanted. And they said, well, they got you anything you wanted, but they didn't buy it. And I was like, what are you talking about? They said, well, they told you that you could just take stuff out of the gift shop. I said, yeah. And then they said when they got home, they would send a check back to Walt Disney. And then my brother and sister looked at me for a long minute as if I was stupid. And I was, because I hadn't pieced it together. I was like, wait a second. They didn't send a check back, did they? They said, no, the whole time you were there taking stuff out of the gift shop, Mom and Dad were letting you shoplift at age 7, 8 years old. I said, you're f***ing kidding me. I said, yeah, all that stuff, ill-gotten gains. My parents, and this was really weird because my parents are hardcore Catholics. We went to church every f***ing Sunday. My brother and sister said that Mom and Dad just felt that the price of the park was overpriced. It was way too expensive, so they felt like this was their way of getting a little bit back from Disney. And it cleared up a mystery for me, which had been around since I went to Disney, as to why I could have Mickey Mouse Mouseketeer ears, but I could not get my name stitched into it. So years later, when I took my kid back to Disney World around Christmas time, I actually paid for the stuff that I let her get. But I told her about that. I told her that when I was a kid I could have anything I wanted as long as I wasn't caught by security. And she said, Grandma and Grandpa are pretty fucked up. I said, yeah. So that's my Christmas story. And if I can extend a Christmas wish to Kevin and Bean, it would be this, particularly with the theme of superheroes. I wish, my Christmas wish for those guys is that they could have Elasticox. Not so much, everyone goes for the complete elastic body. You don't need that. Every man knows the only thing they really need to stretch is their dick. That way they could finally achieve their ultimate fantasy of being able to suck themselves off. And then when Bean is up in Seattle, he could stretch his cock all the way back to Los Angeles for Kevin to top him off. That would be my Merry Christmas wish for those guys. Merry Christmas to all of you.